who knows how far back the history really goes on this area, but we do know that steamboats used to come up here and one oxbow up, which is just a couple hundred yards from this oxbow, and the steamboats came and they traded with the Indians right here. The Indians actually lived here many, many years ago. We have found countless arrowheads over the years where they make their knives and whatnot, the trash piles as they called them. And the one thing we have tried to do is keep this riverfront as it has been for probably the last 100 years. We've tried to have no improvements, nothing that looks city-fied, so to speak, you know, to keep it the rustic look that it's always been. Well, it's considered one of the fishing capitals of the world, so we have tremendous numbers of day visitors that come out here just to fish the Kissimmee chain, which is, like I say, one of the most famous fisheries in the United States. We launch probably close to 500 boats a week. In the winter, during the season, that number goes up, and in the heat of the summer, July, August, it's down some, but on an average, it is, like I say, it's the gateway to the fishing capital of the world. So we have a tremendous amount of traffic through here, and we have many winter visitors in the winter that come, and snowbirds to come to get away from the weather at home, that stay here 3-4 months every winter, in travel trailers, motor homes. Well, a lot of years ago, two brothers bought all this property out here. One of them was Mack and the other one was Lester. And that's how Camp Mack got the name of Camp Mack. And Camp Lester became Camp Lester. And we've done a lot of improvements to the resort. We've added a 40-room motel. We've added lots of cabins and different services. We have guide services, we have airboat rides, boat rentals. Everything here is geared towards families to make them comfortable and enjoy the old Florida the way it used to be. It's just a place whether you want to come for a day, a week, a month, or live a lifetime. We have a lot of full-time residents. We have a little store. You can get soft-serve ice cream, any kind of sodas, drinks. You know, we have a small restaurant. Summer it's open on weekends. In the winter it's open 6 days a week. It's outdoor dining, but good food. So we've got basically about anything you need if you come to stay. You know, like I say, that you can come stay and relax and rent a boat, you know, go on an airboat ride, or, you know, state parks across the street. You can go visit the state park. So, like I say, it's just a nice, relaxing place. What I'd like to do now is, you know, take y'all and show you the rest of the park, where you can get an idea, rather than just me telling you that it's pretty and beautiful and all that is take you all and let you look for yourselves, show you some of the log cabins, the motel, the campground, and the various other assets that we have, and let you all look and see for yourself. And these trees, 15 years ago, had an arborist. He estimated them between 250 and 300 years old. So the one thing we do know is they are old. So over on our left is what we call the river house. It is probably our most popular cabin. It basically stays rented all the time. People love the river house. Now we're just going down the riverfront towards the boat ramps. Kissimmee, Lake Hatchinahall, Lake Cypress, all right here together, and then you can go lock through and go to Lake Topolaka. So from here you can go to the town of Kissimmee, or you go south and you can go down to Lake Okeechobee, and depending on which way you can go the St. Lucie Canal and go out on the east coast, or you can take the Caloosahatchee River and come out at Fort Myers. So from here you can travel to either coast or all the way as far as the town of Kissimmee by boat. I believe Lake Kissimmee it's the largest of the lakes on this chain, and I believe it's 48,000 acres. Big lake. It's probably 23 miles long, probably 15 wide. Right up here on the right are public restrooms and showers. This being a fishing mecca, and rumor has it that all fishermen lie. So basically we have coined the names for different, the store is called Liar's Hall, spelled H-A-U-L. And our cabins all have names. This is Liar's Den. The next one is what we call the greenhouse. And those are actually outside the gate. Our facilities are considered, very good, very clean. We are fanatic about the cleanliness of the camp. You don't see paper on the ground if somebody's walking by. And we have a lot of employees, so we have a lot of people. We have 70 acres, so it takes quite a few people to keep the place in shape and running. So, we try to train them. If you see a piece of paper, pick it up. So that, we keep the place very nice for the visitors. Now we're going to what we call the lower circle, which is a heavily canopied part of the park. It's RVs only. Winter is basically full. We have in phase 1 there's 155 sites. Phase 2 has another 63. We'll head up towards what we call the park models section, which is park models only. We have lots that are available for purchase. We also have a 15,000 square foot warehouse where if people want to store them inside, you can when they go home. A lot of them don't want to pull their boat back to Indiana or Ohio or whatever. So right in here, these lots basically are all privately owned. And these are true log cabins. They're wood inside and out, ceilings, floors, walls, totally wooded. Love to show you inside, but they are unfortunately, fortunately, they're all rented, which we put in 2006. Popular in the winter. A lot of people don't want to be under the trees when it's cool. They want to be out in the sun, and that's why they say they come. So We didn't plant any trees up here. Most motorhomes now have satellite. Of course, they don't work under the trees, so in the winter, this is popular. In the summer, you head for the trees. Then this is the motel. Again, we put in it in 2006. Again, the Amish people built all the furniture, the rocking chairs outside. Yeah, we built the motel in 2006, which was 2 years after the 3 major hurricanes came through. And by the way, the eye of all 3 of them passed within a quarter of a mile of Camp Mack. So we got the brunt of all of them. But when we were building it, I was general manager of Everett Whitehead & Son Construction for 25 years and was in construction, know about construction. And being that it needed a safe haven out here, when we built it, we poured all the walls solid rather than downcells every 4 feet like code. So in case of another hurricane, for the people that are out here, it's a very remote area. You know, everybody should have not everybody, but a place for a lot of them to come for shelter. So it's a well-built, sturdy building. All the parking places are 60 feet long, so the fishermen can come in, leave their boats hooked up back in, and at each parking place there is a receptacle where they can plug their boats in and recharge their batteries overnight. So if it's a 2-day tournament, if they're here staying a week. And as I said before, we tried to keep everything with the ambience of the area, and the furniture's all handmade, the quilts on the bedspreads are handmade, hand-sewn quilts, the pillow shams, everything is all done by hand. So we tried to keep everything, you know, with the ambience of the time and the area that we're trying to represent out here. So if y'all'd like, I'll take you in and show you one of the typical rooms. "38 of the rooms have 2 queen beds in them, and then the 2 handicap rooms have 1 king-size bed in it, and of course a full handicap accessible shower and bathroom. Shower hooks, everything are all to do with, like I say, the theme. As you can see, the pictures on the wall are all pictures that we're taking out here. We had them transposed and printed on canvas. You can see even down to the lamps, everything is based on fishing, although we do have a tremendous amount of guests that just come for the area and don't fish at all, but the theme is fishing, and the name of the motel is Liar's Lodge. Okay, we just left the motel, and right across the retention pond from the motel is our lounge, Liar's Lair Saloon. Again, Liar's got to be in it. And I'd like to add that 2 years ago we were voted the cleanest lounge in Polk County, and this past year we were voted the cleanest bar lounge with finger food and pizzas in Central Florida. So as I said before, we try to keep everything neat and clean for our patrons, and it's nice to get rewarded every now and then with those kind of accolades. So if you'd like to, we can go inside and let you take a look. This is our pool area, and it's pool's 25 by 45, and it's a lot for aerobics. It's heated in the winter, so we don't have diving. Its maximum depth is 5 feet. It goes from 3 to 5 feet. So it's, like I say, it's for the summer. It's great for the kids that are here. You know, going out on a boat all day is too hot and too boring for them, so it gives mom a place to take the kids. Okay, now we're back at the camp store. You can see the bait house here behind me. On the other side of the bait house is our tour boat, airboat, and I'll take you down there to Captain Jim Wirtze. He's going to take you all out, show you some of the sights, give you a little history of the lake, hopefully show you a gator or two.
This morning what we're going to do, folks, is we'll idle out of this area here, and actually this is part of the Kissimmee River. It's the only section of the Kissimmee River that's still left original. Now, we only have about a quarter of a mile idle out of here. We'll get to the main river. That's when you may want to use your earphones or earmuffs, because it will get kind of noisy. We'll have about a 2-mile ride down to the lake, and when I get to the lake, I'll stop again and give you a little information about the chain of lakes we're on. If everybody's ready, we'll unhook and we'll get started. All right? I see another alligator off to our left. I'll turn the motor off. A lot of times the engine will scare him. There he is. Pretty good sized alligator there. We don't have to go too far on this chain of lakes to find them, fortunately. This is our answer to paddle boats out here on the Kissimmee Chain of Lakes. It actually is not a paddle boat. I'll explain later when we get down to the lake just exactly what kind of boat that is. Well, we've done pretty good so far, folks. We've seen a few alligators before we even got down to the lake, so let's hope it just gets better. It'll definitely be a lot better ride because I'm going to give you the experience of an airboat. Now, airboats are very unique in the fact that it doesn't take very much water to run in. And some of our lighter boats, they can run in dry ground, as you may have witnessed the smaller boats up on the shoreline back there. But what we're going to do this morning is we're going to travel this northern shoreline, this tree line up ahead of us. But before we do, I'd like to give you a little information about this chain of lakes because it's highly unique here in Florida. Some of the things that makes it unique is the fact that this is the largest freshwater chain of lakes in the state of Florida. We are actually on Lake Kissimmee, which is one of 4 major lakes on this chain. This lake is the second largest lake in the state of Florida. It's about 18 miles in length and about 7 miles wide at its widest point. Now, like I had mentioned, there's 4 major lakes, and they originate up in the northern end, up in the city of Kissimmee. From the very north end to the south end of this lake is a distance of about 58 miles, which makes it the largest chain in the state. Another unique thing here is the entire shoreline on this chain of lakes is owned by the state of Florida. So therefore, you're not going to see any power lines, any homes built on the shoreline. It's the way it's been for hundreds to thousands of years. Now, this morning, we'll just we're hit and miss today because this time of year, our alligators are constantly moving, and we are in the mating season, the tail end of the mating season, so they're constantly changing locations. I wanted to stop to point out our cattle that graze along the shoreline here. And that's another unique thing in this area is the fact that this lake in itself is totally surrounded by cattle ranch. And there's 4 major ranches out here, and there's 3 on this side of the river. Now, I don't know which ranch these cattle belong to because basically we have open range ranching out here. There is no fence lines to keep the cattle on their own ranches. So the reason for that is the popularity of airboating. Years ago, the ranchers were able to extend their fences out into the lake to separate the cattle, but because of the popularity of airboating out here, there was some serious accidents years ago, and the state asked them to retract the fences off the navigable water. Well, what that created was open range ranching, basically between the 3 ranches here. It's a major operation when they go to round them up. I always stop here, folks, to give you a little bit of history of this upper end of the lake before, actually, this is the point where I start to hopefully find us some alligators. But before we do, I want to tell you a couple little stories. And one of them is we're in an area of the lake that all the local people approximately 50 years ago have named different sections of the lake all the way around for reference reasons. And we are now in an area that's known to all the local people as the school bus. Now that school bus actually is this little group of trees right in front of us here. And it wasn't named a school bus because of the shape of the trees. It was because there was actually a school bus parked up under those trees. Now, it was a trick to get it out here, you can imagine, but there was a way. And why that bus was placed there is because the rancher that owns this property on the north end of the lake here that we've been traveling, he was an avid duck hunter. And he decided that he wanted to have him a hunting cabin out here. And he thought the best way to do that was to take an old school bus and remove all the interior of it and made a hunting cabin out of it. Well, he towed that school bus from that bridge we ran under all the way out here but with a tractor and parked it up under those trees. It stayed there approximately, the best I can recall, about 30 years. I've been here since for 45 years, and I've been fishing here since the 70s, and that school bus was there then. So, but it no longer exists. He pulled it out, but this is still known as a school bus. There he is. Let me go back. I can't get nosed into this brush or else I'm just stuck with him. So I got to start up.
It's what I call Florida's best kept secret, but the people that know about it are the people that keep coming. Once you've come here, most everybody just falls in love with the place, the historic part of it, the beauty of the old hammocks and whatnot. Okay, thank you all for visiting us at Camp Mack, and we hope to see you real soon.